Hi, hello, how are you? My name is Sara from Sara's Reading Nook, and today I'm going to be going over 3 books that you really should read at some point in your life, based off of my recommendations. I am assured that this is not a unique idea for booktube, but it's the first time I'm doing it, so it's unique to me. Now, I think in every reader's lifetime, there are just some books that really stand out. Some books that make you say, everyone needs to read this book. And then you go ahead and you try telling people to read it, and they don't read books. So, now's my chance to tell it to some people who probably are interested in reading books. So I'm gonna start with the first one, which is actually more of a graphic novel book. And this book is something that should be read by everyone. It's hilarious. The drawing style of it is quite simple, but it's so genius. The book is called Hyperbole and a Half: Unfortunate Situations, Flawed Coping Mechanisms, Mayhem, and Other Things That Happened. My favorite quote of this is, "The worst thing that has happened to you in the last 3 days is tearing the spout on your chocolate milk." So I gave it 4.5 stars. Really, it could even be higher than that if I reread it. The reason I think everyone should read it is because there's always times in our lives where sometimes just like getting through the day can be difficult. This book keeps things into perspective in a lighthearted and fun and witty way. It was the first book I took a picture on Bookstagram, and I really think it's what helped me share on social media my love of books. I think that it would only do you good to read it, and highly, highly, highly suggest that you read it at least once in your lifetime. If you've read it, let me know if you like it. The second book is more serious. It is called Night by Elie Wiesel. Now, he is a Holocaust survivor, and this book really shows you the tremendously difficult situations that others have had to live in their conditions during their time in a concentration camp in Auschwitz. It shows how he has dealt with loss in his life, and it also shows his persistence during the time in the camp. The reason I think that everyone should read this is because if you have not done much research about what the conditions were like for those affected, it's really eye-opening to learn about it, especially through the first-hand eyewitness account of an actual survivor. If you've read this book, please tell me what you've thought about it. To me, it's my top #1 book that I have ever read, and all I can say really is thank you to the author for writing this and for sharing his historical account of these deeply, deeply, deeply troubling times. And the third book that I recommend is now turned into a Hulu series, and it's a book that I'm sure many of you have read. It is called The Handmaid's Tale, and the author is Margaret Atwood. Where do I even start with this book? This book is about a woman named June. Now, June, along with other females of her working class in society, have been taken hostage by a group of individuals in Gilead, which is a group of individuals, colony, country, that has taken over and overthrown the United States of America. So in The Handmaid's Tale, June is taken hostage along with all of the other females that are in her working class society and are forced to become handmaids by the Republic of Gilead. I think that it's so important to read this book because it describes what it is like for someone who is just kind of going about their daily life to suddenly lose their freedoms and to be forced into a type of horrifying slavery. When prompted about The Handmaid's Tale, Margaret Atwood was asked, "How did you come up with these ideas?" And Margaret Atwood replied something along the lines of, "I have not written anything in The Handmaid's Tale that hasn't already or isn't currently occurring somewhere in the world, which, to be honest, that quote kind of had me shook. I think that if you have watched the series, this will only complement it, and I hope that you read that book. This is not the type of book that you read lightly. This is the type of book that you read, stop, think about, and really it has the potential to change the way that you think about society as a whole. And I know that my life has been changed and my world perspective has been changed after reading this book. So there you go. There are 3 books that if you have not read, I really think that you should read them at some point in your life. Let me know what are your top 3 books that you would like the entire world to read at some point. Let me know down in the comments, and if you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. I love to see your comments. That's everything for today. Bye!